I will open up the meeting officially at what, 4:04, I think it is. At least that's what my computer says. So
Yep.
thank you and welcome everyone to our June meeting, last meeting of the fiscal year. And I assume you all have received the agenda and packet from Kathy. So the agenda is for to go over the minutes of the January 29 meeting, review the fiscal 25 year-to-date budget, and then talk about the Weir River water consumption revenue update, that issue we talked about the last time. And then a review of the projects, and then our official duty, official duty of setting the rates. And then any other business. Anyone have any other particular item they want to add to the agenda?
Well, I would like to at the end briefly just talk about the topic that I've suggested several times, which is it would help our users to better understand how we provide services if we can upgrade our billing system. One is frequency, which is preferably monthly, and then also give some kind of history and perhaps graph that history the way other utility services in town do it. Take a look at the bill to the light company, take a look at even the Weir River water bill. I mean, it gives you a much more graphic sense for what it is that happened before. So people can see, one, their history, and two, encourage them to be more conservative about the use of water or electricity. So I would like to have a brief discussion of that, at least suggest that we consider looking into that more seriously rather than just talking about it.
Okay, we are prepared to talk about that at the end. So
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I'll put that as a extra in a new business or whatever. Even
Right.
though I know, Peter, it's probably old business, but that's okay. In any case,
Yeah.
so the first item then is the minutes of the January 29 meeting. I had reviewed a earlier draft, and I think I may have made a correction or two. So does anyone have any other corrections or additions to the minutes of the 29th of January meeting?
I don't.
Okay, then do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
That's a move.
Okay,
Peter?
second,
Second.
okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so the minutes are approved. So just in the packet, we have a listing of the fiscal 25 budget. This is at the end of the fiscal year. And I look at I guess the third, two sides of each page, so 2, 4, 6, I guess 7 or 8 side that has the year-to-date expenditure budget as of May 27th. So
Okay.
May 27th is approximately 92% of the year. And I noticed that the expenditure year-to-date is about 80%. So we're certainly well within the budget, just from that quick calculation that I usually do when I look at that. So Kathy, you want to review the budget?
Yeah.
Any highlights of it?
Sure. As you know, like last year, we did have a problem with the revenue that came in covering the operating costs. And so when we started the year, we decided to be just cautious. We didn't really take on any projects, which is usually what the capital costs are for. And we waited until the end. We know that the sewer billing that's due on June 16th is about 1.6 million. We've taken in the 6.2. And then with the other things we have going on, we believe we'll be able to cover the operating cost. So now towards the end of the year, we would like to do some of the projects we were hoping to do, but we were just being cautious during the year to do.
Okay. And
Kathy,
go ahead,
Yep.
Peter.
Kathy, I had a brief question.
Sure, of
You
course.
speak of the second Weir River invoice to be received, which is 58.9. In January, you mentioned that that second invoice was going to be 70,046.
There was,
What's the
yep,
difference?
yeah, so there were some I think it was about 68, 69. So we actually had to make some revisions. They had agreed to pay for their clerical errors, and some
Right.
of them look like they were
30
double
of them.
billed. Yeah, some of them
Right.
were double billed. So this ended up being about 58,967, and we actually just got it in last week. So while it says not yet received, so we do have that. So
So
together with,
you've received payment?
yes,
Okay.
The
And so-
58.9
yep, plus the 14,998 that they paid
from
previously.
the previous. Right.
Yep,
So is
so
this the end of the clerical error correction?
no, we have another one that we're about to send out to them.
Or more clerical errors?
Yes, yes, that's what the terminology is, yes.
Yeah, because you had 30, and the first one was for 3. The next one was for 14. So in that sense, we're still a little bit short on. We have 9 remaining if we're still dealing with the original 30. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, so when they did it, so the one that we were gonna send out in January and that we mentioned at the January 29th meeting, we submitted, and then Veolia sent back some revisions on them. Some of them, they I think they were double billed. Maybe Mike can help me out here.
Well, let me just remind you what we said, or what I was told in the January meeting, that there were 30 accounts that had clerical errors.
Yeah,
The original invoice for 14,998 was to pay 3 of the wrongly invoiced, and then the next one was going to be 70,000 for 18, and that
Yeah.
would leave 9 remaining if you're still dealing with 30 accounts.
We have 7 to bill.
I don't know. What did you say, Michael?
We have 7 on the next invoice,
Yeah, I think we have 7 on the next invoice.
one that they eliminated.
Is that the end of it?
And then one they eliminated. Michael is talking to me right now. So one they eliminated, 7 are going out on another invoice.
And roughly,
how
what's
much?
what's the amount? Yeah,
15,000.
About 15,000.
okay.
Okay, thanks.
So that covers all of that.
Yeah,
issue.
and hopefully, yes, and hopefully it'll be okay.
Okay.
Now, we still have, at least what I was told at the January meeting, we still have, and Mike may be able to answer this, 151 accounts in the Weir system that relates to Hull that have 0 reading. Has that changed?
Michael?
My speaker's not working, so.
Oh,
Yeah, well, this time is because it's seasonal records.
do you want to,
Yeah, it's not a good one.
do you want to
Can
come
repeat that?
closer?
Can you hear that?
I don't think they can hear you. His speaker's not working.
So the last one's a tough one to go through because of all the seasonal accounts, so. We've got approximately like 450 people that are out of town for the last quarter, so they would show up as a 0 read. Any
So
response?
the January 151 was for that quarter, or is there 400 now for this quarter? I mean, how,
Can you
the 0
take your
reads?
headphones with you? He's gonna, because his speaker doesn't work and his headphones, he doesn't have buds, and he's just
Yeah,
gonna
the
talk
reason
to
I'm
me.
asking is because a 0 read is a 0 revenue for the sewer department. And so I want to understand how many of these accounts that we count on getting some revenue are 0 read, and for how long are they 0 read? Is that normal?
Well, I think he's looking just to get you a more up-to-date thing. I will tell you that we have had more than several on this past billing where there's been people with zero reads for multiple years that have just, because of like a defective meter that it was never replaced or whatever, and that they have been replaced. We can tell you the phone calls that we got from the people, obviously, because their real read is like 205 units, 193 units. So that's obviously a shock to them. Although they haven't been paying for years, so it shouldn't be that much of a shock, but some of them, they have been getting, I think we had at least what, 3 to 5.
There's
This-
more than that.
Oh, okay, this time.
And there's more coming up the next quarter that had not had readings for a while, and now they got a pretty big one.
And then Mike said, Mike has read-only view of Ware River, their system. He can look into their system, and he said that there is many more. We can see that, we can see the reads that aren't gonna be given to us until July. But he can see them now, and he said that there's many more that were zero for many years that are now gonna get readings on the next billing.
Good, because Ware River is catching up.
Yeah, so Ware River is catching up with the zero readings.
So
So-
suffice to say that this is a continuous update and correction of things that have been zero
Yeah.
read, broken meter, whatever the issue has been. So it's almost like this is like an agenda item for each one of our meetings to catch up on what has, but once it's caught up, then it goes forward that we are getting a regular, they're getting a regular bill and we're sending out a regular bill on those people.
Correct, right. And I think that because they've been making those updates and doing better, I think that's the reason that I'm looking at our operating budget now. It looks like we'll make it. You know what I mean? Not only will we make it, if we actually get the full billing cost, you might even have like a little bit left to go into retained earnings, which we wouldn't at all have had last year, if you remember. Like we were barely making it for that year. And this one, we're definitely going to make it this year and still get our like trenchless lining and fixing some of the pipes and stuff. We'll be able to do that with this year's budget. So it looks like the revenue was coming back in. So maybe they're fixing their issues.
Well, good,
Okay.
that's encouraging, I think.
Yeah, I just am asking in the context of how many meters are yet to be fixed, how much revenue is in fact forfeit because we don't know, which ones are going to be fixed, which ones aren't. And it seems in some sense just a matter of transparency for the rest of our sewer users to make sure that everybody's paying their fair share.
Right.
And just because we can't seem to keep track of a whole bunch of these isn't really a reason to just let it sort of slide or let it keep on going. I would just urge us to be more urgent about dealing with this and have Ware River sort of sit down with us and describe how they're going to deal with this.
Peter,
That's
Peter,
all.
this has been an ongoing problem for a couple of years now, and probably longer than that. But since we've become aware of this, and we are on their case all the time, and this is out of our control, quite frankly. This is a Ware River problem.
Right.
You know, we have seasonal properties that they don't have meters in, but the meters don't go back. That could be part of the no reads. There are broken meters. There are other reasons. You know, and sometimes we get conflicting stories, and we have to talk to Russell himself to better understand and get this. You know, he's had a lot of turnover. You know, not to make excuses, but he's had turnover in his staff. But he is making adjustments now. He's got a whole different customer service team that we hope going forward is going to be more responsive. He's taken a lot of his staff in working with Hingham Light Plant staff and taking over the billing and customer service function, taking it over from the private contractor that they had. So we're hoping that that's going to have a big change and make a big difference here. And you know, we have to give it time, you know, and he's also looking into other factors such as all new meters for everybody, you know, automatic readings. reading meters in the smart meters similar to the light plant has, so that people can track the history information over time. Yeah, all that is in the works. It just takes time. He has to go out for bid, develop the specifications, go out for bid, get contractors to do that. But he's making Hull be the first installation because he knows it's a big problem affecting our operation in particular. So there is a plan. It's just not a short-term term that we'd all like to see. It's just going to take a while longer, probably another couple of years before we see it better in place. And
Okay.
we'll get to it at the end under the new business, but we also have another thought that we've been toying with as far as that somehow getting away from all this anyway. So let's just hold that for
Okay.
now and
Okay.
and
Okay.
we'll get
All
to
right.
that when we get to
Thank
it.
you.
Okay.
Okay. So Kathy, do you have any, or John, any other comments on the fiscal 25 year-end budget?
I think just it looks more promising than it did in the prior discussions, and
Right.
so as long as the revenue continues to come in and we meet this, I think we're going to be okay.
Yep.
And it would be great if we had some excess that could be turned into retained earnings.
Right.
Because
Good.
we always
I
know
have
this
one
is-
quick question.
Yes.
Last time we talked about interest that is paid on liens by people who don't pay their bill on time, so their interest is paid. And you guys are going to check to see how the town allocates that interest payment back to our budget. Did you
And-
ever figure that out?
Yeah, they do. And actually, I mean, I didn't, but it should have been obvious to me. Under the revenue, your first one says interest. And that's actually where the interest from people's late payments, and liens, goes into that one.
And where do we stand now with lien collections?
I think that the liens were pretty much
Yeah.
taken care of this year, right, Michael?
So what's the current balance?
That I don't know. I'd have to get the tax collector. They are the one, Once
Because
it
we've
goes-
been carrying annually something like $300,000 or $250,000 worth of liens that haven't been collected. So do we still carry that forward? That kind of balance forward?
Well, this year looks better than last year.
99%.
But
Okay.
there's
Yeah,
still- but there's-
99% was paid.
Yeah.
This year.
And is it
Okay.
is it a cycle that each time the billing goes out, there are some that aren't paid, and then it eventually gets into a lien, and then they get paid, and then they get, basically get reimbursed? And is it the same customers that do that, or is
Yes.
it different customers?
Most likely.
Pretty
Yeah,
much the same people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not much you can do about.
Yeah. But at least they're keeping track of it and following up.
Yeah. Last time I suggested an accounts receivable account
Yeah.
to keep a separate eye on this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not, like, even though we prepare the billing, we prepare, like, we look at it, we see if there's any errors and stuff. Eventually, we do send it to the tax collector. It's not us that sends it out. It is town hall that handles the billing and the payments
yeah.
and the assessing of interest and putting people into liens. It is not us. We can look at it, we can record and keep track of our revenue and our expenditures, or even when you were talking about billing, that is totally in the domain of town hall as to how that
I
will be
understand.
handled. Yeah.
That's what I'm suggesting we have a conversation about.
Yeah, no, we'll do it at the end. I'm just saying that with the
Yeah,
billing and
I
making up a
understand.
new account, we can't do it.
Right.
Okay,
I don't know what that's.
I don't know, it's some background noise somewhere.
I think somebody
Okay.
just logged in.
Oh. So the,
Do you want to find who that is, Kathy?
I will. I'll chat to him.
so So the third item is a Weir River water consumption revenue update. We actually kind of already went through that. I don't know if there's any more information other than what we talked about and John reviewed on what the status is.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else.
Okay. Then the next thing is the projects update. If you want to give that, John, or,
Sure. So
and I see, and the list is in our packet.
yeah,
Right.
and we've provided updates in the newsletters in the packet here, and but just as we had the preliminary punch list inspection today for the Influent project, and that went generally well. A number of things are still incomplete, but overall that project is progressing pretty quickly at this point. All the pumps are in place. The large one of the large ones still needs to be connected. The piping still needs to be connected to the two pumps in one of the rooms. And once that internal piping is completed and connected to the already installed outside piping, then they'll be ready to be tested, started up and tested, and we expect that to take place by the end of this month. So
Good.
once that happens, the bypass system, once the new pumps are all started and we're confident about their functionality and reliability, and that they're meeting the performance that they're supposed to meet, then we'll authorize the contract to take the bypass system down.
Okay.
And the bypass pumps can get removed, and whatever additional piping is there, the contractor's already started a lot of the site cleanup. So the site is looking like a big difference already. So,
Mhm.
and the inspection today also included the building inspector and the fire officer. So we also will be looking at the electrical inspector to come down and make his inspection. So, and this will all be prior to the final punch list inspection that will happen probably July, August timeframe.
Okay.
So that's that project.
Okay.
The Pemberton Pump Station is also progressing. It's now out of the ground. We have the pillars in the first floor platform where the generator and electrical controls will sit. That is that's all set, and the contractor will be starting to. I think the masonry contractor, if he didn't start this week, he'll be starting next week on the walls for the structure.
Mhm.
So that's happening, and once that should go up relatively quickly too. All the wet well, the valve vault, most of the underground piping in those vaults and structures in between them are in place. There's still some piping that needs to be done, and we expect that to happen over the next month or so. The outfall project. First of all, any questions on either of those two?
No.
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
The outfall project, we've done our inspection with the new contractor, and we've got good information, not good, but good information that we now understand the condition of the pipeline. And there are 8 diffusers that need some attention. 2 of them have offsets, pretty severe offsets. These are 4-inch diameter riser pipes off the 24-inch trunk line at the end of the outfall. And somehow over time, these diffusers have shifted and created this offset. We don't know what has caused it at all, but it's just challenging us how we can try to make a repair without getting too carried into excavating to the trunk line and putting a new saddle and riser pipe on it. So we're coming up with a number of different approaches, ideas, and methods, talking to different contractors and getting their ideas. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you updated on that. But the other 6 diffusers, we're thinking they can be cleaned and maybe just reinstated that way. And there may be some other remedial work that may be needed, but depends what the key function is of these 2 ones that have the severe offsets. Peter?
John, I have the kind of impression that you weren't entirely happy with the previous contractor, and it
That's
ended
correct.
up in a dispute about things. So did they not do any of the work? Is there any kind of...
Oh, they did the work. It just wasn't clear. We never got the final inspection ever completed. That's the thing. The camera It got stuck at one point. We had to pull it out. Then it went back in. It didn't get all the way down. So there are a number of different reasons, and things took a long time to get resolved. The prices that they had for addressing the changes that they needed to happen, they were exorbitant. And so finally we said enough is enough, and we said we'll terminate their contract and start another one. So we rebid the project and got a new contractor, and this contractor, we can work hand in hand, we're just like they're on our team. And we're just strategizing and doing things together. And we get daily updates when they're out offshore. They'd come in and we'd talk to them. We'd have weekly team calls. So we have a much better sharing of information, better information, and timely information. So,
Or do you feel like you got money's worth out of the previous one, or you?
No.
So, is there any recourse to that?
No, we signed a termination agreement just to end the contract rather than fighting it,
Okay.
because there's nothing that we could really prove.
Right.
And even after all this
Okay.
work, nothing we could prove. And
Right.
Tom may think otherwise, but it would be a struggle, and the town council has agreed that it's going to take a lengthy battle if we were to fight this. And
Okay.
I think we need to just move on, and for the dollars that
How
we're
much money
talking,
How much did we pay them?
I think it was like 700,000. They did a lot of work. They repaired some of the diffusers that need to be repaired, so we did get work out of it. But we never got a final inspection and never verified that the pipe was clean.
Yeah, never completed the job.
But again, it was for various other reasons. So
Right.
some
So,
attributed to how they did the work.
So would you, any ballpark estimate as to when this would be completed?
We're still shooting for this year.
Okay,
Yeah. We've got approval to continue to work in the water for the rest of the year, so that's good. There was a permit restriction through the summer, but they've said that we can continue to do work. So, but
Okay.
if we
How
make
much
a
is it?
bigger change, then we may need to get additional approvals for that change, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
Mhm.
How much is the new contract for?
Good thing is, with this
516,000.
contract,
What, Tom?
Okay.
No,
Tom,
I
what
was
were
just
you
gonna
saying?
just add that, with this contract, can you hear me or no?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. No, what I was just gonna say was, just to add to your point, was, with this contract now, we know all the deficiencies of the outfall. So, what we're gonna do from here on out, is gonna be a fix that is, gonna provide an outfall that's gonna be good for the foreseeable future. So we're getting a lot of information, good information, and just trying to come up with the right fix. That's all. So.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you.
And then the other project we have is the asset management. I'll let Tom brief you on that.
Yeah, so just still working with the consultants with Weston and Sampson. We did meet with them a couple weeks ago, and it is progressing with the JS mapping. So they've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. We don't have too much to view of what they've done, but I know that they are working on it. They've shown us little tidbits here and there, and they are continuously trying to work with contractors to get out and do the inspection of the pipelines. We have changed gears a little bit because there's some limitations of the size of pipes that we have, and the process that we were trying to do is not necessarily not possible because of the size of the mains, the small diameter sewers that we have. Trying to inspect the laterals in some properties, we just don't. There's limitations there, and the equipment's really not there yet. So we've changed gears a little bit, but still trying to get the information that we want. So that's the little bit of a delay in the season that we're in right now. It's the busy season for all these contractors. So hopefully we should hear something pretty soon, though, of schedule wise.
But by the end of the project, we'll have tie cards for all those properties on the various hills here, right?
That is correct.
Are we
or
discovering any of
some
these?
version of a tie card, put it that way. It won't be the tie card that we would prefer, but
It'll at least have the location of where it ties onto the main at a very bare minimum. It'll provide showing where it's tied onto the main trunk line.
Are we discovering any tie-ins to the sewer system for which we are surprised?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
And are we surprised by any of the connections in terms of they haven't been paying any fees, but they're connected? I mean, these things they're not on record in any place, and so you're discovering them. And so the question I ask myself is, well, how many of these connections actually have been going on all along and not having to pay for the sewer charge?
I don't think there's.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any of them because everything's based off of
Okay,
water usage.
the water. Okay,
And John, you
as
can.
long as we
yeah,
have the
no,
record.
I will add though that we just this week we found a property not related to this project that had 3 sump pumps discharging into the sewer. So and that's been going on for some time. So there'll be they've already been asked to remove that, and we'll be sending a letter to that effect. So
Okay,
Good.
so we do find things from time to time like that.
right. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And then the other item here is the SRF funding. As you know, we got the $18 million approved at town meeting. So we're moving forward with that. We've provided DEP with the information that they need for the first step. We're working with our consultants to develop contracts for the design of the components that will be done as part of these projects. And those we're looking to have completed by October, the end of October. So the treatment plant upgrades, primarily repackaging a lot of what was done both 3 to 5 years ago in the first project that was then taken out because we had to reduce the value of the project. So there'll be some rework done to include this. We're adding some other work as part of it that's come up since that time. So there's some new design work as well. So that work is being developed, and then the collection system work is also being developed, and we have a different consultant being used for that. That'll be Weston Sampson, and Wood and Curran will be doing the treatment plant work.
Mhm. Okay.
So, any questions on any of that?
No?
If I could touch on real quick on the outfall project, sorry to backtrack here. Do you have a sense on current state and how that impacts the processing capacity?
We're in better shape now than we were over the last, I don't know how number of years. We probably had half of the diffusers functioning. Now we have all diffusers at least visible above the sea bottom and functioning. The 2 offset ones, they may be leaking sand, but at least we know that the pipeline has some sand debris in it, up to 12 to 14 inches in some areas, and we feared that it could have been a lot more. So we do know that all of them are functioning at this point.
And you're appreciating that improvement already in process.
Yeah, that doesn't really affect us at the flows that we see today.
Right.
It would really be impacted in a high flow event. The one we had about a month ago, that was pretty significant. We had 6.5 MGD, but that was no concern. But if we had double that, that's when we're reaching the peak of that outlet capacity. 12 to 13 MGD is probably our peak.
Okay.
John, quick aside on the town meeting, you were suggesting a series of changes to current fees. I wasn't paying attention, so did we get those changes?
Yes, that was the bylaw changes. So
Okay,
that was all that went in place. So all the revised permit fees and additional fees that we'd asked for, they all were in place. The sewer rehabilitation fee that went from $500 currently to $1,300
right.
effective July 1st, and that has an escalation clause for future increase if needed. So yeah, all that got approved.
Okay, thank you.
Um, Okay, so that, I guess brings us to the,
Oh,
f-
Just
let's
one
go.
more thing.
Oh,
I
sorry.
didn't know if John wanted to tell about the grant award for regionalization.
Oh, yes.
I
yeah.
forgot about it. That just came through this week.
It seems to be, I think we're more excited about than anybody else, but
Oh,
Situate.
well, people might know you've talked about it. So
Regionalization's big.
So this is a
No, I think it-
$700,000 grant for a $1 million project. Each community, Hingham, Cohasset, and Situate and Hull are part of this, and each community is expected to contribute $100,000 as our share of the grant. It was just awarded the other day. And we knew it was coming, but we had to comply with some other conditions. So with those conditions being met, they issued the award. So now town council and I have developed an intermunicipal agreement with these other communities that we're going to be reviewing one more time next week with town manager and town council. And then after that, we'll be setting up follow-up meetings with the other communities so that they can agree to this agreement. And then after that, we'll issue a request for proposals for engineering services to complete the comprehensive wastewater management plan. That's the essence of this next phase. And
Wow.
that's a 2-year effort. They'll include additional planning, permitting, environmental impact report, some public outreach, and governance as far as how the structure will be set up. Whether we'll be the prime entity and the others will just be customers, or whether it'll be one regional authority and we share all of our staff and equipment, and be responsible for all the sewer systems throughout the region, or like I say,
Awesome.
just stay on our own and each entity be on their own. So I imagine there'll be some involvement by the commission on that as well. So we'll keep you updated as we learn more and as we progress.
So the end.
I'm glad it's moving forward.
That is huge.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and the end point of it is a master plan, after discussion, negotiation, whatever, with the 3 towns, and as you just mentioned, outline some of that. But that's the end point, is to have a management plan.
Yeah, it's a governance plan. I'd call it a governance
Yeah,
plan.
right, yep.
Okay, so there may be, like I say, do we want to just offer our services similar to what we've been doing to Hingham and Cohasset all these years, or whether we become a regional authority and, like I say, we share staff, share resources, and then we develop a plan for sharing all of our capital improvement, maintenance and improvement needs.
Right.
So that's a huge part of that, and
It's huge.
yeah, and whether that makes sense or not, I think we need to just look further. Nobody has really delved into it at this point, but there are some other models that we've been giving of other communities that have done similar projects like this, and those are what we'll be looking at and assessing.
So would you foresee, John, at some point then, some kind of a public meeting
Oh,
that
yeah,
would
definitely.
update the public in general, not just us, on what the status of the
Yeah,
thinking is, I guess?
That'll come about probably as part of the draft environmental impact report.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my guess is there'll probably just be a meeting among the 3 communities. So somehow and if I remember, there's at least 2 meetings planned as part of the whole process, but maybe even more.
Mm-hmm. Good. Thank you.
Okay.
So now we can go on to the fiscal 26 rates, which is, as I've said before, is our main duty to set the rates. So in the packet, there is several pages that review the rates. And the only, well, the first question I have just is the estimated volumetric units in
Mhm.
coming up with that number. I went back and looked at fiscal 24 and 23 and see that in for fiscal 24, for fiscal 25 of this year, we had estimated 284,000 units. And the previous year for fiscal 24, we had estimated 330,000 units. So how did we come up with the 290, almost 298,000 estimated for the next fiscal year?
Okay, so if you look at the amount, so some of it's Hull, very few of it is at Cohasset, very few is Hingham, that
Right.
totals the 297. But that first one, I think it was the FY 24 that was big, right? Over 300.
That 330, right?
And that's when so we projected high, and that's when we started to get into problems because
Right,
the revenue
right.
started to come away from us because of the issues with Ware River. So the amount of stuff that was coming to us. So we take a look at what's coming in, what's come in so far this year, and then we kind of give an estimated. So last year we went down really low because we knew that we were having a problem with the 300. So we just think we took like 20,000 units off. And so this one we could kind of see an idea of what we were getting this year. And we made it like a projection based on that. So it's a little bit more,
A little bit higher. right.
yeah, but not like over 300. I think at one point we were even projecting 312
Mhm.
some of the years, and then it went down to 303. Then we just to be safe, I think one of the years we went to like 284, like you said,
Right,
did 20,000. And that was just based on, let's, hope we get something in.
Okay. And the other question is about rates. I don't think it affects this year's, your projection or your suggested rates. But in the town meeting article that talked, the large funding mentioned about how we can get reimbursement for that money. And it was estimating that the base rate would be changed, not this fiscal year, but was
Correct.
suggested the base rate would be changed again next, not in another year, not for
I
fiscal
think in
26,
28,
but for
maybe
fiscal
27 or
27 or
28.
27.
27 or 28.
It starts, yeah,
And
27.
also, I think in that, and I wasn't at the voting of the article, I only saw the original article in the town book. It also talked about the the volumetric units suggesting numbers for that. So I only question that only because I assume that is our job to set the rates. We made the recommendations are made, but is anything that you see in what was approved at town meeting that they actually approved a rate at the town meeting?
No, so they approved the loan. Well, first, if we go for a loan or we go for something where we have to pay it back, we spend a lot of time going over projections about how we would be able to pay back the loan. We know, we get an idea of what the payments will be because it's over 20 years. We get the table or tabulation from the state, and then we put it in our debt line and we project out several years, like 6 to 10 years. And then we can kind of see based on the rate we're doing now with like, say, 3% increase in regular stuff like supplies and stuff on your expenditures going over time each year, how much you're going to have to raise the rate. How much money are you going to need each year to pay for the expenditures each year? And so that's how you come up with the rate. Then we've got like a tabulation spreadsheet that an engineer created for us, and we put the numbers in, and then we figure out how much rate you're going to need to sustain your budget over time and pay back that loan.
Okay, but I'm just wondering, is there anything that that was passed at town meeting
No,
that establishes anything that we have to pay attention to, other than, I assume that it did indicate that in 27 or 28, that the base rate to be changed to $40 a month instead of 30.
Yeah.
And is that how it
I-
was passed,
Yes,
the language?
Kathy, let me try to explain too. So, Rick, what we've done is we get a debt service schedule from from the state, and Mike Buckley confirms it, based on the loans that we're taking and the term that we're taking, and that they give a pay down schedule over the 20 and 30-year periods. And based on that, that's one of our biggest expenses. So that in the contract operator and all these other expenses that Kathy's explained, they get projected out over a number of years, and that's how we determine what our budget is going to be and what the revenue needs to be in order to meet that budget. And so that's why we have the adjustments that we've indicated in the future and when they need to take it to go into effect.
Mhm.
But I think what Rick's asking is if during the time that the loan was being approved, if something was in that motion that said that the rates would be going up for it, or
Well,
is that kind
yeah,
of what you're saying?
Yeah, because that's how we indicated that the rates will be changing in 27 and 28, the base fees, based on that type of analysis.
So it's an
So not
expect,
saying that they
No
will be
surprise.
that, but that's what
Right.
we expect them to
it's
be.
an expectation.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? Right, okay. Then, just looking at the fiscal 26 suggested rate that you have sent to us, that the base rate remains the same as it was, which we had changed last year to $30 a month,
Yep.
or an annual $360. And that based on this volumetric estimate, which I understand how you came up with that, that the rate would, you're recommending a rate of $19.01 per 100 cubic feet. And that's basically a 2.5% increase over last year's rate of $18.54 per 100 cubic feet.
Correct.
So, is that, I'm just confirming, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, do I have a motion to approve the use as it's listed in our packet? Do I have a motion to approve the user rate of $19.01 per 100 cubic foot as referenced on page 9 of this meeting packet?
So moved. Peter.
So moved by Peter. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, a second. Any discussion on the rate?
I wonder
Uh,
about the penny.
You know what I did? It's just 2.5%.
What's the penny?
You know what?
Okay.
I put it in the thing at 2.5%, came out at 19.01. I'm like, okay. We'll
it
keep
show-
it.
Okay.
I think it's great,
right.
Peter. It shows how diligent we are, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So other than that, I'll call to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Then the motion is carried, and so the rate has been carried for next fiscal year. So the last item we have on the agenda was Peter's suggestion earlier about upgrading the billing system and making it more of a graphic sense. If you want to review that again, Peter. And again,
Well,
I'm sure we all kind of understand that we're dictated by the water company and getting that information from them.
yeah, the constraint I think is sort of, that's one of them. The other one seems to be the town seems to have no interest in presenting a more usable, a more user-friendly billing system the way the light company does. We're an enterprise fund, and so I was just wondering why we are stuck not being able to communicate with our users in a way that is meaningful to them. Probably eliminates a whole bunch of phone calls if we could better inform them on their consumption and their trends. But I understand that this may be impossible because the town seems to insist on sending out the kind of tax statement, in effect, that is for most people so difficult to really interpret. So I'm just encouraging us to figure out a way of having a conversation with the town if it's possible. If not, then not. I mean, John also has something else to contribute to this conversation from what he said
And
earlier.
I'll let Tom and Kathy present the options, the other options that has been floated about. It's really just floated out there. It's for consideration. It might be good just to get some input, to see what your thoughts are. But the other aspect to keep in mind is we do expect Ware River to, with their revised service center and meter billing, that I would expect over time that we'll see a change in their billing approach as well. And we have expressed interest, they have expressed interest about monthly billing, showing the historical trends, just like these other utilities. So we agree, Peter, that is something, it's just something we're restricted right now based on the current billing protocol that we're going through. So that is something in the plan, but the other approach, I'll let Tom present that idea.
Yeah, so Kathy, chime in whenever, but so one thing we just kind of threw out was just to kind of get away from being strongholded by, you know, well, I shouldn't say stronghold, but just, you know, being at the mercy of Ware River and the water consumptions, going to like a flat rate structure, almost like a tiered structure that would be basically billed on a per bedroom tier, basically. So, you know, one bedroom would be billed at one rate. There'll be no base rates. It would just be
One rate.
one
So-
rate per household for however many bedrooms you have.
So just to give you an idea, so Ty and Bond, I guess, was contracted with the state to do some kind of a rate survey on utilities. And one of the things we noticed when we took a look at what they did an incredible job, but we took a look at what they did. We did notice that some communities had gone to just base fee. There was none of this, you know, how much usage, how much you're going to do the meters run? I got the thing. We got to keep raising the rates. And so we kind of thought it was interesting. And that's pretty much where we're at right now, is just, you know, and we've kind of bandied some ideas about, like, I shouldn't pay the same amount like a little old lady who's living all by herself. You know what I mean? Or people who have less people who have less rooms shouldn't pay the same. So it's kind of an idea. We have to reach out to the other communities just to get an idea of how it works, how they do they have some kind of system? Do they have a tiered system? How was it going from billing on a usage basis to just this kind? So it's definitely just an idea, but just considering what we've had to go through the past couple of years, it just became really interesting to us just because of the revenue. And I don't know, like, if I move into town, I thought about this too. If I move into a new town, it'd be nice to know what my actual bill is. You know what? Every month you're going to pay this. Okay. You know, as opposed to, I don't know what you're going to pay. We're going to find out. Let's see if your meter works. Let's see if it's read correctly. Let's see. I don't know. It's just an idea we're banding about. So we'll have more information later. It's not something we're saying we definitely want to do, but it's something we're looking into. Just interesting, I would say.
So just investigating that as an alternative.
Correct. And we
possibility.
would bring it, like, for more suggestions, like,
Right.
this is what we found, and like pros and cons and things like that. So it's definitely, even if something was to happen, it'd be way out there, but we're just looking at different ways to make it easier for the residents. You know I live here. It'd be just, is that easier for me? Would I prefer it? What's my neighbors, you know, just get feedback kind of
Mhm.
what's best for everyone.
And then getting back to what we currently use, which is using the data from the Ware River water. My assumption is that database of all that information, if we indeed wanted to have the ability to get the information that Peter was talking about, we would have to somehow get a system that absorbs that database into it, and then be able to come up with a history of, you know, monthly usage or you know, in other words, take over that data into another system, which I'm sure would be costly to purchase if we wanted to do it ourselves. So
Right.
from
Well-
that standpoint, my opinion is that if Weir River is going for other reasons, going ahead with investigation of improving their system to be able to get to eventually what they're looking for is monthly billing, that seems to be a way that we should wait for. That's just my opinion.
Oh, no, definitely. We are looking at, like we said, this is definitely not something we're like, this is good to go. It's just something that was interesting to us, but then John also mentioned the monthly billing from Ware River and that they may want to do both or things like that. It's just different ideas that are being bandied about, just to kind of get an idea of what would be best for all of us, for all the residents. Like I said, we live here. We would like it to be better also.
And getting back, Peter, to what you were saying, is there any other way that you can perceive of with the current system that we have and the current data that we get from Weir River to easily come up with some kind of better information to the customers, as you were suggesting?
Well, a couple of thoughts. One is if Weir River is sort of improving its billing system and they have the history, the software side is not a problem. The database is already there. You have the
Right.
consumption information around water. All you have to do is run a parallel billing production out of a software package that can be adjusted to produce water bills and sewer bills. So in that sense, from my perspective and my experience, that's not a problem if we're willing to deal with them as our partner in this process. The alternative that I thought is, well, they have the database. The light company has a software package that they use to produce a very nice looking bill. There are reasonable ways of importing the data from the Weir company database to the light company billing system that can produce a sewer bill that deals with that information. But the software is not the issue. The issue is sort of
The data.
committing to a monthly, it's the data. And the data is there, but the town doesn't use it.
Mhm.
And that's my concern, that somehow we're missing an opportunity to grab what is there and make it better because the town is in the way.
Thank you for everything with the ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah, Kathy?
I'm not sure who
Liz,
that is.
sorry, Liz?
Yeah.
I know I'm an outsider, but I just,
Okay.
I'm sort of interested in stakeholder engagement and communications, and that's some of the work that I've been doing on the side with John and Kathy. I'm happy Kathy, to whiteboard what those parameters might be and how to look at those best practices so that when you bring back in the information back to this team, you've got sort of a 360 view from which to make a recommendation. I mean,
That would be
that's
great,
really what you're
Liz.
asking. That's really what you're asking for. What I'm
Yeah, I
hearing.
think
being asked
we're
for.
just willing to
If
bring
we-
a lot of,
Yeah,
maybe just stay the way it is, or here's
Yeah.
another idea, and just maybe take a look and get more of input. It's definitely not
right.
happening today or tomorrow. It's
Yeah.
something Tom and I have talked about a little bit and bandied some ideas about, but
I think it's a wonderful idea personally. I think it helps build the trust that your group is looking for so that when you raise your hand and ask for $19 million at town meeting, you don't get a lot of pushback.
yeah, well,
That's
I
the
just
reason to
think it's
be-
also
that's the
easier to
reason to
budget
have
for
a-
your house.
Correct.
Budget for your house. I know how much I owe you. And
Right.
it's not like, how much do you think I'm gonna owe this quarter? So I
Right.
think it's
So if
easier.
I can be of any help to you to sort of whiteboard what those parameters might be as you go out to look at it. So you're asking the same, so you bring back a sort of an approach to your board here. I'm happy to have that conversation. That's sort of.
That would
in my
be great,
ability.
Liz. Thank you
Happy
so
to help
much.
you.
You've been great with the other stuff, so thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
It
you,
also
Liz.
may just be a way that we can represent it in your quarterly newsletters.
I might do
Oh,
both. We're not off until the afternoon, but I could go to the beach in the morning.
Awesome.
Um,
Joy.
Thank you.
Let's see you.
Yes, have a great day.
Oh, yeah, let's see you.
Have a good time.
Okay.
Yeah. You settle down, sit in the chair.
Okay, all right. I guess there was some background noise again.
yeah.
So, Peter, anything else about this you want to say, or?
Peter?
He's on, you muted him.
Oh,
I muted him. I think I muted
think so.
somebody else.
Oh,
oh,
Oh, I muted him too? Okay.
Muted everybody.
okay.
I didn't mute everybody.
No, okay.
I don't know. He should be.
He's muted.
Yeah, he's muted on his own. I just
Oh.
asked him to unmute.
Okay.
Oh, well.
So any other issues or new business or questions or issues? Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn, although I don't know if the other two members are on.
Um,
I'm still here.
Oh, okay, good.
So
Jordan's
moved.
here.
So moved.
I think we lost Peter though,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
but I think you can do it, can't you, Rick?
Well,
moved.
I know I can move to adjourn and there's not any discussion, but we still need a quorum to, I guess, it's crazy, the quorum to vote to adjourn the meeting. But why don't we just do that anyway? Could you make a motion, Jordan? And I'll second it and we'll leave it at that, I guess.
Sure. Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Thank you,
And I
Jordan.
second. And all in favor, say aye.
Bye.
Aye. Thank
Aye.
you.
Okay.
And Peter,
Thanks.
I assume Peter would go along
I
with
think
that. so-
something must have happened. Yeah.
Okay,
So, thank you.
okay.
You
thank
guys have a
you.
great
Okay.
night.
Bye,
very
everyone.
good work. Thank you,
Okay,
everybody.
Thanks,
Thank
all.
you.
Bye
Thanks
now.
for all your help.